What job do people underestimate the difficulty of? Cutting big tree branches off. I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and I'm pretty sure a bunch of people die every year cutting tree branches off. Certain factory jobs. I worked in a cardboard factory making boxes and it was the hardest job I've ever had. We had to manually feed a press putting out 15,00025,000 pieces an hour. You'd grab as many sheets of cardboard as you could from the bend in your elbow down to your fingertips, getting hundreds of paper cuts until you develop calluses on your forearms, hands, and under your nails. Then have to do a spinning front squat and place it in the feeder, which would be empty again in 5-10 seconds. You wouldn't think of cardboard as being heavy, but some of them are made to hold heavy objects or resist water and are pretty dense. Keeping that pace up in a very hot factory was brutal. Not to mention they have a giant digital stopwatch over the press you're working on so everyone can see exactly how long it takes you to complete an order. Factory work is absolutely brutal. I worked at a clothes factory and measured and folded so many red shirts for weeks on end that when I would leave, everything was green. Short order cook. Veterinarians. They do such a broad range of work on such a broad range of animals with tools and drugs that weren't invented for it, and they're paid a pittance in comparison to human medical doctors. Friend is a vet. She is about to quit because of how often she has to help put animals down. Airline pilot. I keep hearing these dumbasses say that the plane flies itself. All they do is push a button, which is balls. Autopilot is there to do the boring, tedious parts. The pilot is there to handle the real challenges. Ever see a heavy crosswind landing? People call it a miracle. I call it doing their job using their skills. Being an anesthetist. It's nice and chill right up until it's not, and then it's a crap hits the ceiling kind of thing. And your patient will most likely not even know of your contributions to their good health. At least in my part of the world. One of my friend's dad is a doctor specializing in anesthesia. He once said it's easy to make people go to sleep. The hard part is making sure they wake up again. Always stuck with me. Translator. It's extremely exhausting and time consuming if you want to do it right, and those who are setting the deadlines never have translated anything themselves. Most of them are also the type of people who say that programs like Google Translate are going to replace us anyways. Like we're not underappreciated enough. Former translator here. When I stopped, I seriously spent weeks just enjoying having only my own thoughts in my head. Some people underestimate the difficulty of being president. I don't think very many people could sit down in the Oval Office, or any non-American equivalent, and know exactly what they're getting into. Almost everyone knows that the job means constant, non-stop, high-pressure work for at least 4 years straight, but it can't become real to you until you experience it. It's how you adjust and deal with the stress that matters. People tend to portray people they're bigoted against as lazy, so any job that parents threaten their kids with, being a blue-collar worker, correctional officer, private security, trash collector, street sweeper, all take tolls on one's life with little recognition from society. If by parents you mean white-collar parents, my parents would threaten me with those, but they started in an office after college. Certainly not my grandpa who worked construction early in life. He'd more likely want me to at least start in construction. Looking for jobs. The longer it takes, the harder it gets. Housekeeping. The amount of people that I've put through training in 2016 and just left without saying anything is baffling. It feels like people don't understand that cleaning rooms to be presentable to the public takes a tons of work and has a standard to uphold. Most seem to think it's going to be a relaxing therapeutic job similar to how you take your time cleaning at home. But no. We have no time for leisure cleaning. Most days are full check-in, full check-out. You get there at 10 AM and you have to be done by check-in time, 3:30, 4 o'clock here. You have no idea how bad the rooms are. Some people just sleep in the beds and leave, while others let their children dip their hands in chocolate sauce and wipe it all over the duvet, walls, and carpets. Rooms can take anywhere from 20-60 minutes to clean, and if you have 25 rooms to clean between 3 housekeepers, it's entirely doable, if the housekeepers actually know how to clean. The rooms have to be spotless. No mirror spots, no cup rings, no crumbs on the floor, not a speck of dust anywhere. If people find a problem, They will complain and the housekeepers are to blame. No arguments. Sometimes I go to check the rooms of our newbies and what they think is acceptable for viewing eyes makes me internally scream and wish I was getting paid more. Oh yeah, the pay. You'll most likely get under minimum wage and you'll constantly echo in your head, I'm not paid enough for this. Outside of the rooms you also have to maintain the entire look of the hotel, load laundry, and rush under the pressure of idiotic guests who don't know what a check-in time is and show up at bloody 12 demanding their room, which is either on the other side of the hotel away from your cleaning carts or still occupied by a dumb crap who refuses to leave a checkout time. The reason checkout times and check-in times can be so early late is because the housekeepers need all the time we can get to finish the rooms properly for the next wave of guests. Stressing us out leads to mistakes and most can't handle the stress both physically and mentally, thus leave the job they thought was gonna be a leisure job. I remember when one of the bosses of Hilton tried to clean a room. For the TV show he tried almost every jobs in the hotel. Even if it took him more than 2 hours to do it, it wasn't done right. High visibility. Shameless plug for our truckers. Truckers. People think that all we do is drive and we exist only to kill people and slow you down. Actually navigating a 65-70 foot articulated vehicle weighting up to 80,000 pounds amongst the general public is not easy. We're abused, misunderstood, taken advantage of, and thought of as uneducated, nasty rejects of society. I get the finger more than I've gotten, thank you for 400,000 plus safe miles in 3 years, toss in very tight regulations governing not only how we drive, but how we live, and you've got an occupation where most don't make it their first year. We also have among the highest mortality rate of any profession. Recently, people seem to think that automated trucks are in the near future and we'll all be out of a career, which instead of trying to explain what we do and why full automation won't exist for decades, I just laugh because people don't understand and don't care what we do and how we do it. Teachers. Also, paramedics. Definitely teachers, especially as classrooms become even larger and wages stagnate. 911 dispatcher. Every day you go to work wondering if you're going to take a call that will scar you for life and give you recurring nightmares. I agree with this. They should have on-staff therapists to help them deal with the crap they hear every day. Same with ambulance people. Honestly, pretty much any job. All kinds of stress and difficulty go into any job, they just take different forms. A small business owner has to go through so much local government bulls, and micromanaging all of it is really tiring. But a doctor has to deal with, if I don't diagnose this correctly, someone's life could be at risk. But no one really understands what stress comes with a job they've never been really exposed to. This might sound stupid, but being an exotic dancer, it's physically demanding. You deal with buttholes all shift long, and depending on what city you are in, the money is either feast or famine. Oh, then there is the potential for being stalked or physically assaulted by customers. I've heard being a cam girl is a bit better for some of those reasons. From a labor to pay ratio, and I don't expect this to be a popular opinion, but I would say fast food worker. It's shite work. You don't get paid a living wage, and everyone looks down on you. Acting. It looks easy because professionals make it look easy. It's most obvious to me anytime a non-actor is thrown into a role as a cameo, even playing themselves, they're terrible. I took drama in high school convinced I'd be the friggin' star of every play. Lasted 1 semester before I realized actual acting was not a skill I was good at. When it first came out, Mile High Club on Veteran. I used to be the only one out of my circle of friends that could do it. After a couple of tries, I made $5 for every time I got someone that achievement. Thanks for the memories. Ultrasound tech. You must just love looking at babies all day. Is it a boy or a girl? That's why I'm here, to find out the gender. No, it's not. We're literally looking at your baby head to toe, making sure it has all the organs and parts it needs to live a normal life and be healthy. Revealing gender isn't even part of the exam. It does not matter to the doctor if you're having a boy or girl. Also, it's super stressful, especially when imaging a baby that has no head and trying to keep a straight face in front of the sweetest, most excited parents. Oh, and we ultrasound just about everything from hearts, to veins, to arteries, to scrotums, to breasts, to lumps and bumps. There are many specialties to go into, and it's very stressful. We are literally the eyes for the doctor. If we don't see it, they don't see it. So don't get upset when I'm not all smiles and chit chatty while I'm trying to get you answers to why you have pain. Okay, morbidly curious about the no head bit. Being a high school janitor, they have to work in a place filled with a bunch of ungrateful teen buttholes. They get treated like crap and get paid loose to nothing, yet they still stick around. Respect. Weird, the janitors at my old school were generally well liked. One biologist. But it's first grade. Being a caregiver for elderly people. Trust me, sometimes the cute old grannies have a very good punching arm. Customer service. Just because an individual task is not challenging doesn't mean that doing this task over and over for hundreds of people over the course of a day while keeping a convincing smile plastered on your face while knowing no one respects you isn't difficult. Conductor of a symphony orchestra and chorus. You have to know every note of the score and be able to make numerous musicians perform as one. Or teaching orchestra. Same job as a conductor, but you also have to teach the players how to play their instrument and teach them music. Working with animals, such as kennels and daycare. No, it is not playing with puppies, it's getting peed on, bit, mysterious blood, being outside in any weather, and dealing with dogs who don't give a rat's but what you say and will never come inside. All for minimum wage. Nurse, it's not just that we have to deal with poop and vomit, but we're also the first line of defense when things go wrong. 9 times out of 10 if a patient codes, need CPR, there is no doctor making decisions for the first 5-10 minutes like you see in TV and movies. For once, I want to see a nurse run a code on a TV show, because that's what usually happens. Completely agree. Plus dealing with tons of patient family drama all the time can really take its toll. Writer. People think that it can't be that tough. After all, they write 2-paragraph business memos. CNA in a nursing home. You do it. Tell me how frustrating it is. A lot of CNAs work like slaves. Most likely will be short-staffed and can barely make ends meet. And also no matter how hard you work, and you can't rush any patient because you want them to do as much on their own as they can, you will always be behind, and a patient will always become upset. Then you have to clean up mistakes that nurses make, like giving a patient way too much laxative, not to mention dealing with the family members. You're also told nothing regarding a patient's condition or medication, but yet you're the one they ask questions to, so you have to find a nurse to answer them, which is usually like finding a needle in a haystack. Many do have Alzheimer's disease, which can manifest itself in so many ways. You have to find ways around the condition, such as convincing patients to get up, go to the bathroom, and eat. Sometimes you are verbally abused and hit. Also, a lot of your patients will pass away within the first year you're working there. This is Diamond SpongeBob. He only appears every 200,000 videos. Subscribe for good luck. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.